GTP! Come on, there it is. Tonio, let's go! There he is. There he is.
You guys for having me. Excited to be here.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate it. You said you've been having a slow day out there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, a little slow, but Juneteenth, I feel like everyone should be able to relax.
I agree. Man, I asked my boss the other day, I was like, hey, since Juneteenth is a national holiday, do we get paid double for Juneteenth? He had that same reaction. He just laughed at me. That's what he did.
Yeah.
I was like, come on. I thought this shit was a national holiday.
It's a new one. They're adjusting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because I know out in Cali, like my wife's mom, she's an educator out there, and she said that she had the day off today. So I think in California and probably in New York and stuff, it's probably they're taking it a little more seriously. But what is the blackening? Did they go see the blackening? Is that a movie? Sorry, this is coming from the chat.
I'm not sure. It might be a movie, but
I have no idea what they're talking about. You better not be saying some racist shit right now, Gene. Moving Dutchman, welcome on. Our other guest is here. Caitlin Torres is here. So we'll get her going. And then we'll readjust again. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Let me readjust here, and I'll get you guys centered a little better here. What is that, Gene? You explain yourself now.
Now I gotta Google what that movie is.
Yeah, is that a movie? Is that like a thing that he just said? I don't know.
I've seen Black Mirror recently. No, it's a film.
It's a film, The Blackening.
Yeah, it's a horror comedy.
Oh, Twitter says your black card is revoked if you don't go see it. Oh, is that?
That's an aggressive statement. I got to go see.
He's saying that's what Twitter says. That's what Twitter says. And possibly Joe Biden. Possibly Joe Biden said that too. Who knows? Let me see here. So it's a movie?
Apparently, yeah. It says horror comedy. It just came out. I see it's in theaters, but
is that? Oh, it's already in. Yeah, it's already in theaters. Went to see this with my husband and gotta say it was funny, although they did give away some of the best parts in the trailer. Oh, okay. Well, shit. I feel like we should give it homage. If Twitter says... By the way, welcome, Caitlin. I know that you came in right in the middle of a conversation, so
yeah.
Now we got to know what the blackening is, because this is...
Someone asked us if we saw that.
Yeah, and so we got to find out. We got to know. And we're gonna get to the bottom of this, folks.
Synopsis says 7 friends go away for the weekend, only to find themselves trapped in a cabin with a killer who has a vendetta.
Oh, jeez. That's never a good thing. Hold on.
I'm gonna switch to Google Chrome real quick, so I'm gonna get out and then come back in, if that's cool.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, be right back.
Was she not on Google Chrome? Oh, she's going on the thing Google Chrome. I thought she meant Meets. I'm such a turd. So I'm still.
Yeah, she's probably in a different browser.
Yeah, all good. Admit. And she's back. Is that working better for you?
Yeah, I think that's gonna work better.
Good. And then let me put this on. Nope, that's not it. I swear we're gonna get to this. This is gonna happen. We're gonna talk. Things are gonna. We're gonna have laughs and all kinds of fun stuff. Okay. Excuse me. Now I'm gonna cough.
How you doing today, Kay?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, you guys might as well just have your own podcast. I'm over here pissing around. Oh my God. All right, hold on. Sorry, guys. Woo, all right. We're starting out real strong, y'all. This is a strong start. All right, let's go over to, let's check out this trailer for the blackening, because apparently Twitter says that your black card will be revoked if you don't watch this. Now, I am only 2% Senegalese. I only claim the 2%. I don't say the N-word. I don't that's not enough Senegalese to be dropping N-bombs, but I do proudly hold that in my blood. I'm also, what was it? 39% Mexican, so I'm proudly part of the fun. Okay, here we go. Let's watch this, and we're gonna get into a conversation with these folks. But it's gonna bother me if we don't watch this. Okay, the taco community. Yeah, we can't be the butt sluts anymore, can we? Now that we just recently got censored by Twitch because we had a big old bouncing butt as one of our little emoticons, and they took us down. And we also had a weed leaf.
Twitch is on some new stuff. The platform is dramatically changing. It's an interesting.
Are you familiar with Twitch?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Twitch. I mean, it's I've been seeing the streaming wars happening with like Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. So.
Oh yeah. Kick right now is on the rise. That's what I'm thinking about switching over to is Kick, because Twitch is just, they're on one, man. I can't even handle it anymore. All right, let's check out this trailer, and we'll see why Twitter says that it's a must see. Oh my God, it's loud.
Reunion about to crack. We got the whole crew back.
Really, bitch? A cabin in the woods.
Now let's get it all in perspective for all y'all enjoyment.
You still a slave to the white man?
Y'all gonna start calling my wife the white man, all right?
Newness, here's the anthem. Put your hands up that you shoot with. Count your
But
loot
we
with.
don't on Juneteenth.
Oh, hell no.
Where are you going?
Look for the fuse box. What kind of house is this? No, thank you.
The blackening?
Oh.
Jim Crow Monopoly.
Shit probably runs on racism.
Pick a card and save
Oh
Morgan.
Lord.
What do you mean, save Morgan?
Refuse to play, and she dies.
I think we have to play the game. In your predicament, the black character is always the first to die. I will spare your lives if you sacrifice the person you deem the blackest.
The blackest?
Nobody should judge anybody in here, bro.
You have 2 minutes to decide.
Shanika, she say nigga the most.
Nigga.
See?
Wait.
Y'all can't pick me. I'm gay.
Oh, Clifton. Yeah.
I can prove I'm not the blackest.
Prove it.
I've never seen Friday. I voted for Trump.
What?
Twice.
Big money, playboy, your time's up.
We need a plan.
Don't say it.
Hold on. So far, what are you guys thinking?
I mean, it seems funny. It seems funny.
I'm here for
I see it.
I would fuck with it. Yeah, me too. It's interesting too because they kind of went the whole Saw direction. You guys saw, you got to do this or this person goes. So that's interesting too.
I was just thinking that's like it doesn't really make sense to make the deal. If you got to sacrifice someone to save the one person's life. So we're essentially like, we're trading you off because you're less valuable than this other character. It doesn't really make sense.
Right. And to make it all worse, it's the blackest person.
Yeah.
it's the most racist game of Saw ever.
It sticks to the top of the blackening. It makes sense.
Let's finish this trailer and move on here.
You dare.
Don't say this dumb shit.
We have to split up.
Your time has run out. It's time to die.
Oh!
There's a crazy person out here hunting us. You got Rosa Parks on your shirt, right? Would she be sitting down right now?
I mean,
That's exactly what she did.
Made you look. Made you look.
Why black women gotta save everyone all the damn time?
Made you look.
Yo, stop playing.
I got a gun.
That's too DMX. What are you doing?
She's so funny.
Was she the lawyer in that Issa Rae show?
Insecure,
Insecure.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, she's awesome.
She's so funny.
Yeah, that looks really good, honestly. I want to go see that.
Me too.
Hold on. Let me get back to our other here. Boom. All right. So, and now hold on. Now we gotta add Caitlin to the fun here. Hold on. Caitlin, what do you go by? What's your artist name?
Just Kate.
Kate?
Kate, yeah.
Nice. Let me fix this. So we're gonna get and Kate. Oh, I put 8.
Yeah.
Come on. There we go.
It's a V instead of an A.
What is it?
Oh yeah.
VTE.
Oh, instead of an A?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad, guys.
Make it a little different.
All right. There we go.
Yeah.
We did it, friends. All right. So, thank you both for joining us. We just watched a trailer that I've never opened in an interview with a trailer, so you guys were the first and probably not the last, but you know. So how did you guys end up coming together and working together?
Yeah, so I mean, it was like I said, we've known each other for a long time. So I've known her since undergrad. We both went to the University of Michigan together. And so I've been doing music for like 2.5 years, and I never collaborated with anyone. And like, I think if you're going to collaborate, there has to be like one of 3 reasons. And basically, like, you have to feel like you can make something crazy. And so I knew that she was super talented. And so I just asked her one day, she'd be down to record a song, collaborate with me on a record, even though she hadn't done music, like release anything officially. And we ended up making Love Yourself, which was the outro to our project Mine Forever. And it was fire. So we were like, all right, we got to keep going. And it turned into another song and then another song. And then next thing you know, we've got this whole project. So
wait, are you guys doing a whole album together then?
Yeah, we dropped an entire EP. It's an 8-song EP. Together, yep.
What's it called?
Mine Forever.
Mine Forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't even realize you guys had a whole thing going on here. So you guys met in college.
Mm-hmm.
So Kate, where are you from originally?
I'm from Michigan originally. So
what part?
We both went to the university. I grew up in Grand Rapids.
Oh, I love Grand Rapids.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then we went to school in Ann Arbor, so closer to the Detroit that everybody knows.
Yeah, Ann Arbor's cool. And then Tonio, you were for Columbus. That's where you're from.
Columbus. Yeah, Columbus.
Okay, and then how did your family feel when you betrayed the Buckeyes and went to the Wolverines?
My mom's an Ohio State alum, so it was a conversation, but they support me. So pretty much whatever I do, they're gonna convert. And my mom is now a Michigan fan and loyalist through and through.
Wow, a traitor! You got her to turncoat too? Oh, come on, sir! How dare you?
Proud of it. It's we're now we bleed blue.
We bleed blue.
Yeah.
How dare you? Oh my! You're making all the Buckeye fans cry right now. I'm in Toledo, Ohio right now, so I'm very familiar with both Columbus and Ann Arbor. Yeah, I have partied in Columbus on the university campus. Never partied on the U of M campus. How is the parties at the U of M? How is it wild? Is it tame? What would you guys rate them?
I feel like my experience is different than Kate's
Definitely.
but like I love Ann Arbor. I think it's a good time. It's a college town though, so it's like, truly it caters to the kids. And like as you get older, it's kind of less exciting. You have to move more towards like Detroit and like Novi, but it's fun. There's a lot to do there.
Yeah. Ann Arbor's fun. Go ahead, Kate. What was your experience?
No, yeah, it's cool. I wouldn't call it a party school. I don't think that was its shining. I wanted to go to University of Miami, and I think I would have had more fun on like that side of things there. But it was a good school. Like Ann Arbor's a really cute town. I had never spent time there before I moved to go to school. So it's cute. It's like it's green, it's safe. The bars are kind of fun if you're still in college, but once you kind of graduate.
Yeah. The last time I was there was like a 19-year-old. It was the middle of winter, and there was like a 19-year-old girl like in a like halter top and this small little tiny like skirt. And it was a group of them all cuddled together, like freezing. And I was just like, oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I do not miss being young. That just seems like, I mean, not that young. You know what I mean? Like college age, like that is such a confusing time. Your hormones are all crazy. Like, how did you guys fare in college, especially around dating? How was that?
You want to go first?
You can go first with that one.
I mean, I think I did all right.
He's like, I did pretty good.
It was fine. I mean, I was in relationships longer term a lot. So like I've always been kind of like a lover boy, I would say. So I definitely had like long-term girlfriends in college, but I had my fun too. Like I was being a college athlete, it's hard not to.
Yeah. What'd you play?
I played football and ran track.
Oh, really? So you played football for the Wolverines?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. What were you trying to was your goal to go off into the NFL, or was your goal to like pursue your college degree career?
I mean, I don't really know that I had like, so I mean, obviously I was planning to get my degrees. I was never going to go and not get my degrees. Right. I don't know that I ever really wanted to go to the NFL that much. I think to go to the NFL, you have to truly like love football through and through. And I think at a certain point, I kind of got to the point where I didn't really love sports as much. I think it was more of like the thing that kept me going and like competition, but not necessarily like my end game, my passion. So like once I realized that the NFL wasn't really something I was super trying to chase.
It was a dream though at one time?
No, I would say like honestly, like the Olympics for track was probably more.
Really? The Olympics for track? Wow, that's cool. What was
like the thing I wanted to do?
What was your favorite? What was your best sport within track and field?
I mean, probably the long jump was probably my best.
The long jump? Oh, yeah. Dang, that's cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite. But I mean, I did everything at one point or another. So.
Yeah. And then what did you end up graduating? What field did you end up graduating?
Psychology and English.
Okay. And then so what did you want to do with your degree?
Nothing related to psychology or English.
What'd you end up doing with your degree?
Yeah, finance. I'm more of a corporate sector sort of person.
Finance is nice. Oh,
Oh, I froze.
That's all right. There you are. You're back.
I'm back. Okay. Yeah. So finance is like my day job.
Like, and are you like day trading? Stocks. What is it? What?
Oh, I'm primarily like enterprise strategy. So like organizational strategy for larger firms. Really can vary. It could be banks or real estate companies.
Okay. Hell yeah. That sounds like that sounds like a more reliable career than hoping for sports or, you know, anything else, man. That's nice. It's interesting that you've decided to go into music after you have a whole career already sort of lined up. Is that something that was music always something that was a part of your life, and you just now want to pursue it, or like how do you come to that decision?
Yeah, I mean, I think music was always a part of my life in a way. Like I played instruments growing up, and then
what'd you play?
A violin, actually.
Dope.
So violin, singer, and then in general, I would just always listen to music, but it was never something I had like an interest in going into. I think probably like Kate was more like tapped into music and like studying it and like understanding like the technicalities of it versus me. I'm not technical at all, so.
Are you into production, or you just do your thing? You get beats and then you just do your thing over them?
No, I just get beats and do my thing over it. But this was the first project where we actually did get involved directly in production. One of the songs we made, Mine for Now, Kate and I actually executive produced it. So we built the beat from scratch. We had the vocals first, and then we just went through and worked with one of our engineers. Had another engineer send over guitar strings the way we wanted them to. And then we just locked in the studio one day for like 6 hours and just built it out and said, this is where we need to do things, and used our voices, turned them into samples, all that stuff. So it's a pretty cool experience. But I think like for me personally, at this point in my career where I'm older than most artists who start out when they're like teenagers, you know, I don't really think that learning like the technical aspect and becoming a producer is like super conducive to me spending my time that way, as opposed to just getting people who are like great at what they do and making the product fire so that we can move faster.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, and if you don't mind, how old are you?
I'm 29.
29. Okay, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the youngins who are getting into it in their teenage years and stuff, like that to me always seems, especially when they break, that's when you see like these young people going through all this shit, man. Like you remember when J Beebs was all, you know, getting DUIs and toilet papering his neighbors. It's like that dude was found at such a young age. Like he never had a chance to actually mature as an adult. And so I couldn't imagine maturing and becoming an adult as this world famous person who's constantly under the microscope. It just seems like that that would definitely impede on growth as a person.
Yeah, you gotta be ready for it.
Yeah, how can you be ready for it? Like you're not even ready really for life, and all of a sudden now you're out here, you know, people you like you're so rich and you have such you have so much influence that you have people who are working under you. So like you're like a 16-year-old kid who's responsible for like 200 people's jobs and stuff. Like that just seems so wild. Like on that aspect, not. And of course the pressure to perform, right? The pressure to be always smiling, never make a mistake, always ready to sing, always ready to have a story for somebody on some crappy late night show. It just seems like a lot. I don't know. That doesn't seem like an appealing thing to me. And so, Kate, what did you go to U of M for?
I did communications, but I was focusing on journalism. So I wanted to be, well, I always knew I wanted to dance and do music. But aside from that, I really liked interviewing people, kind of like what you do. I kind of wanted to do that and be on CNN or something. So that's what I majored in. And then my minor was crime and justice. So I did a lot of work in the prisons in Detroit. I did like theater classes in prison. So like taught them acting classes and stuff. So that kind of inspired my minor. So yeah, kind of all over the place, but I've always been a dancer. I was on a bunch of teams in Detroit, and I've always been a singer and played instruments too. So
are you still in Detroit, or are you out in Los Angeles as well?
No, I'm in Los Angeles now. I moved out right after graduation, really to focus on dance at first. And then it's kind of diversified a little bit and focused on like my other passions now.
Yeah, like singing and doing stuff. So you're so what is your day job, if you don't mind talking about it?
Yeah, I do a lot of things. It's mostly in the media world. I do like curly hair ads for brands and like social media stuff with like curly hair.
Really?
And
You're an
yeah,
influencer.
a little bit, something like that. And then I do a
What's
little
your
bit of video production
what's
too.
your IG handle?
My Instagram is K_TORRR. And then I have a YouTube channel too that's all about curly hair. And if you just look up Caitlin Torres, that'll come up too.
Boom. Following.
Yeah.
And everybody in chat, go ahead and give Kate a follow. I'm going to drop the link into the chat. And also, if you're listening to this on the audio end, make sure you go in the show notes. I have all the links for GTP, and we'll have Kate's Instagram on here. So make sure you go and follow Kate. She's out here killing it with the curly hair.
Thank you.
Oh, and more. There's more than just curly hair on this IG page, Kate. Oh, wait. Sorry, I don't mean to be gross. I'm being gross.
You're funny.
I feel like I'm being disgusting, and that's what you need. Those curls. Morby does have curls for days. Here, let's go show everybody your curls. Might as well. We're already here.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's make everything all
Girls.
awkward.
Yeah.
Can you guys see that? You guys can't see that. Can you see that? I wish Instagram does not give you. These are small, little, tiny pictures, folks. Those are great curls.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
And then here's what I was talking about, folks. There's more than just curls going on here. Watch out. Hold on. There. She's done. She's doing things. She's doing things. Look at this. You want curls? You want cake? There you go. Curls and cake.
Not at all.
Curls and cake with Kate. There you go. We've done it. We've rebranded you, Kate. You're good to go.
Love it. Perfect.
And then and here is Mine Forever. Now this is the actual EP right here.
Yep, that's the project.
And that is in the chat too. Explanation point GTB will bring up the links for Tonio, so you can go check out the new album. You can also follow him on Instagram and YouTube, and of course, all these links will be in the show notes if you're listening to this on the audio version. And hello, iHard61505. He says beautiful, or they say the beautiful. I'm trying to work. They say beautiful. iHard 65. I love it. First time chatter. Welcome in.
Yes.
We're over here. And then you said you have another one. What's your other one?
Oh, I was talking about I have like a YouTube channel for hair.
You got a YouTube channel? Sick. Let's go over there and check it out. And what's that under?
Okay. I think if you type in, KT Curls with a K, KTKURLS.
I'm like, this is a new one.
This is my other. He hasn't even seen this.
This is Cat's Curls. Oh, I put Cat. No wonder.
Oh no, yeah, KT. Or it might be I don't even know how to look it up. Try KATEE 83. I think that's my old username. KATEE.
Now I'm about to go. What is
83.
83?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I know you were not born in 1983.
I wasn't. It just rhymes.
Okay. Caitlin Torres, watch out.
Yeah.
Look, now we're sub.
Like curly hair and this DIY videos and.
All right. Let's give a little love to the.
We're watching it.
Have you been having issues with your hair lately and you don't know what's going on? Maybe it's thinning, falling out. Maybe the texture feels weird. Maybe you used to have beautiful curls and now it's just.
Oh, you guys can't hear it.
Maybe it's looking and feeling dry and just different. Maybe you have color in your hair and the color isn't.
This video is about how your hard water is ruining your hair.
While there are several. be contributing to
I knew
these
it.
sort of hair and scalp issues. One of the
Look at
major
that thumbs
ones that you
down.
may not have
Don't be fucking
considered
around.
is your water. You might have hard water and it might be ruining your hair. If you find
I know LA's got hard water. That place.
It will ruin your hair. You gotta take the steps.
LA will have your hair falling out.
It does.
I used to live in San Diego for like 15 years, and I know it's two totally different cities, but I feel like all the water piping was put in at the same time, because whatever is going on in Southern California's water system is wild, because it feels like when you drink, if you drink on the tap, if you're one of those people, who I was at one time, it feels like you're tasting like 200 years of history in every sip.
Yeah.
So
so true.
They say don't drink the water in Mexico. I say don't drink the water in Southern California. Just be safe.
True.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Hair is bad.
All right, here, let's watch more of this hard water stuff, because I want to know.
And you'd like to join me on my journey toward the healthiest hair, skin, and body possible, please consider subscribing. It'll make me so happy. I'm going to show you some before and after pictures. Please keep in mind that hard water isn't the only factor that contributed to these hair issues, but I do believe that it is one of the major ones.
This is more information.
Please also keep in mind that I was using Midwest, and I was living in a house with soft water. You can see the curls are pretty tight. There's lots of volume. Here's a picture from the next year-ish. Still have a lot of volume, but the curls are starting to loosen a little bit. And here my hair is just crunchy looking, dry. I did get some highlights, and this is not how they were supposed to look.
You know what's also is when you think about LA weather, it's basically a desert, right? It's basically an arid environment, and so what that does to your skin and to your hair is wild. My wife, she has tight curls, right? And and plus she has dry skin. And once she moved back to the Midwest, she's from California. Once she moved to the Midwest, it was crazy. She was like, I've never had so much moisture in the air. It's like
it's crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. And it's different water and stuff. And like Ann Arbor had soft water.
My hair was better in Ann Arbor than it was when I moved to LA, so I think it was better over there.
Yeah, you can see the difference. Thank you, iHeart. Appreciate that. I see the difference too. It is like it looks like curly fries. Like
it does. It was like getting. I didn't even know it was the water at first, but it was slowly just ruining my hair.
What brought you to the conclusion that it was the water?
Just a lot of research. I thought it was like what I was eating, or I wasn't sure what it was, but just after a lot of research, I realized what the water out here can do to your hair and your skin, and you don't even think about it really until you start really looking into it. And it's like the minerals and stuff that comes out of that water builds up on your hair slowly, and then if you're not clarifying your hair, which is a whole other process, it'll start to fall out, it'll start to like straighten if you have curly hair. It'll just be not good.
Yeah, seeing my wife go through like beauty products, it can actually be a really harrowing experience, because I remember my friend bought her some hair stuff that was for black hair, because my wife is black and she has hair, different kind of hair than other folks, and it ended up burning her scalp, and it also it burnt her scalp and made her lose a big patch of hair, like right towards the front of her head for 2 years. So
that's so tough. And our hair is such a part of our everything. Like, it's so important to us. So when it's like falling out or like just not looking how we want it, so emotionally it's tough.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, because there's so much wrapped up in your appearance, and especially when you live in a city like Los Angeles, where appearance is like 90% of the whole thing, right? It's like, well, you look the part. Hopefully you can act, or hopefully you can sing now, and sometimes that don't even matter, right? Like sometimes you don't even need to be able to sing to have a career as a singer.
It's true.
Which I'm not trying to shit on Britney Spears because I love Britney Spears, but like man, I've heard those unprocessed tracks as many of you have heard it, and that is, whew. Let's just say thank God for auto-tune. Thank you, auto-tune.
I'm a proud supporter for sure.
Yeah. Let's watch a little bit more of this video and then we'll get back to the album.
Water made them this weird color. Here my hair is getting crunchier, the curls are getting looser, it's getting so much thinner, it looks
There
crispy.
is such a huge difference between this
Michigan and LA
and this. Wow.
I know.
That is wild. And you know what else is weird? Because my wife's hair was falling out at one time. She found out she had like a huge vitamin deficiency. So
yeah, there's that too.
She was she needed iron and vitamin D and zinc and shit, and she just was not taking that. And since she started taking vitamins, her hair is all like voluptuous again and all like it's crazy what the body and eating wrong foods and like, because you mentioned it, right? Like, because you thought that you were eating the wrong foods, or like maybe I need an alkaline diet or something and my hair will be beautiful again. But a lot of times it's vitamins or what you're eating, and now hard water, like it's the environment is actively working against you, folks. So trying to dry you out and crisp you up.
It is.
Yeah, be careful, y'all. Yeah, be careful out there. Watch what you're doing.
Looser, it's getting so much thinner, it looks crispy. I've never straightened my hair, I've never dyed my whole head, so this wasn't heat or bleach damage. I was losing so much hair, and again, I was using Diva Curl as well, but I know the water was making it all worse. And yeah, at this point, I would cry when I took these pictures.
Oh, you try.
I did.
Oh.
Going back to my trauma. Reliving all of it today.
My hair trauma. Yo, that stuff is traumatic though, especially when you think about it, especially for ladies, because, society itself puts so much pressure on women to look a certain specific way. And so I can imagine that affects you when you're having a bad hair day and your hair's crisping up or falling out or whatever's happening. I can imagine that it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy for me. I don't like going out looking like shit. I mean, I do anyways, but like I like looking good and I'm just some dude, so I'm not a pretty girl who's like trying to, maintain this thing. So anyways,
sure.
Thank you for
You get it.
I do get it. I do get it. So you guys decided to just do a whole album together. Now, is it gonna be under GTB Tonio, or are you guys doing like a feature? How are you guys listing this album?
Yeah, I mean it's under both of us. So we did release it as like a co-primary artist, which is like a little bit more technical. There's like a difference in how like the data is calculated and everything like that.
Right.
But yeah, it is essentially like our modern day take of like a 2088, if you're familiar with that, like Big Sean and Jhené Aiko.
I see. Yeah. That's dope. So then what's the theme of the album? Because I know this video that we should probably watch this video because it's pretty amazing. It's called Mine for Now. This video is pretty dark.
Yeah,
but nice. Go ahead.
The album is like a toxic. It is our take on like relationships, really from like a variety of different angles. But I would definitely say more from like the darker side. We're looking at it kind of on a more like realist perspective. And so like the Mine for Now music video, along with like the music video that for the single before that, Wait No More. They're like it's like a 2-part music video, and like the album really kind of carries that throughout the entire project.
Gotcha. And did you want to add anything to that, Kate?
Yeah, it was just I think we really tapped into our toxic, more dark side, which isn't necessarily who we are.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit in both of us. So we found that, brought it out, and tried to make something that's relatable, something that we say things that like not everybody would necessarily say, but it's true, it's real.
Yeah.
And the video, I had so much fun with the videos because I act a little bit too. So I was able to play that role of like a crazy girl, and it was so much fun. We had so much fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, the video itself is wild, and so I think you tapped into something there too, because I think that everyone has like their little toxic side to them, right? And it's whether or not you sort of give in to those tendencies. It's like, have you guys ever found yourselves in those moments in that time? And I'm not trying to call you toxic people, but you know, if we establish that it all exists in everyone, how did it show itself in you, or each of you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm probably the more toxic of the two of us. Definitely lean way more into that. I pretty much, that is like my entire like creative process, is I will just take like moments or things that I've said or that someone said to me, and that stuck with me, and it probably was not the healthiest thing to say, and it'll just turn into an entire verse or a song. And so like that is definitely, I think, something like for me, I'm a lover boy. I love hard, but I think like when you give so much of yourself to relationships and to other people, when it doesn't work out, it makes it easier for you to be like jaded.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what comes through in my music. And I think I kind of pull that a little bit more out of Kate.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, I think he's definitely more toxic naturally than I am, but it's some of the things that I say in the songs and in the video, it's like maybe what I would have wanted to do. Not that I would want to like tie somebody up, because as you'll see, it's insane, but like maybe I wanted to slash somebody's tires at one point, or bust the windows, and I never would, but this kind of allowed me to tap into that girl who would.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's everything we say is like true, it's real, it's just it's not necessarily what we would normally I don't know, say.
Well, I mean, everyone's had a bad day, and it's like, I know, like the last time I was super toxic, I was like with some girl, it was before my wife, and I was texting her, getting her riled up. But I wanted her. She was banned from my house. My roommates banned her because she was a little bit, Let me not put it all on her though, because we were both that. But she made scenes, and my roommates didn't like that. So I'm trying to get her all riled up just so she could come over, and so we could like fight in real life, not like fist fight, but like, fight, and then usually, what comes after that, the makeup time. So, I mean, I was wasted. We were both on drugs. It's like, is there a specific last time or the time that you can remember that you were in a toxic moment like that? And, I know that these things can be kind of personal. So, feel free to edit. But when's the last time that you can think of an incident that happened that was classified? That would be classified toxic. I can see both your guys' smiles like,
Yeah, I have a lot of them.
One that sticks out.
Well, so in my song "Wait No More," there's a line where I mention a specific day. It's April 26th, and I would say that that was April 26th, 2020. Super toxic, probably the most like toxic relationship-based scenario I've ever been in. Cannot go into the details of that. That will, stay with me and that girl. But she's heard the song, and she knows the references. She thinks it's dope though. She likes the creative expression and kind of the ability to talk about it, afterwards.
What's the song called?
That's Way No More.
Okay, that's good. So now, if you guys want to know what the toxic shit, what kind of shit that Tonio gets into, go listen to that song right there. What about you, Kate?
I definitely got a little toxic in my last relationship. I think both of us did. Which it was kind of recent, but I didn't do anything crazy, though I would have liked to. I think I just did petty things. Like, I think one of the pettiest things I did was just like take his tire caps off of his tires and like throw them into the street so he can never find them. Like, that's just annoying, He has to find.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a little crazy.
It's petty. It's not like I didn't like cause serious damage.
It gets real. Shit gets real, right? Like shit gets way more real than throwing caps in there.
Exactly. Yeah. No. But
That's
so
cool.
the solo song that I have on this album is it's toxic in the way that it's about kind of when somebody does you dirty and somebody is toxic to you, and then you're in a position of like you get through it, you're over it, and then they're texting your phone like regretting it, crying, wanting you back. And it's from the perspective of me being like, I could block you and not see these messages or anything, but I'm getting a little bit of like satisfaction out of you being so upset at what you did and like wanting me back that I just want to see you texting me and like begging and like regretting what you did. So I think that's toxic on my part for sure. So yeah, if you listen to that song, that's what that's about.
Well, thank you guys for being honest. I appreciate that. What, should we play mine for now? I mean, I think that's your latest video, right?
Yeah.
Should we play the part one? Or
I mean, I think probably do part one first. Wait No More.
Okay, so Wait No More then first. Okay, hold on. Let me find that then.
It's a whole, you know, it's a
whole thing. We gotta know the whole thing, y'all. We gotta know the whole thing. Okay, so let me pull this back up then. Give me 1 second. Romantic.
I look crazy in this, just to warn you. I look crazy.
Wait, I mean,
I'm not crazy.
But I'm not crazy. You should have said it like, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Okay. All right. Let's go over here and then so the first one is called what? Mine.
The first one's Wait No More. The second one is Mine for Now. Mine for Now is the sequel to the Wait No More.
Wait No More. And there's a whole video for that too?
Yeah, for both of them.
Is it under your YouTube?
Yeah, GTB Tonio.
Wait No More. Oh, it comes right up.
Yep.
Oh, Wait No More, and then it's the other one. Mine for Now. Okay. I had Wait No More pulled up. God, I'm such a loser sometimes. All right, here we go. I'm gonna share it with you so you guys know what's going on. I heard the song before, so I'm gonna use the restroom and then come back. Play dumb shit also. iHeart wants to hear some dumb shit. Okay, we can do all of that, but first we gotta get over here. Okay, we're gonna switch screens just for a second. If you guys don't mind muting yourselves just for the video, and then we'll get this. All right, guys. Now this is Wait No More from GTB, Tonio, and Kate, and let's get into this. This is it. This is what we're doing. BRB.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do.
Used to think about forever. Now I feel like I can do better. Not the same when we together. But like the girl I once knew better. First love, hard time, damn you damaged me. You try, we both felt everything. Thought that I could wait for you. Maybe I'm not made for you. And the pain gon' come, but the tears gon' dry. Thought I'd wait for you, but baby, not this time. If you ever call me your nigga, you better put only in front of that. Not worry about what got us here. We both said we was done with that. Tryna keep my shit together, huh? All my homies told me I should forget her. And I try, but I've been doing everything just to wait for you. Keep thinking I can change for you. Probably not the same for you. Should I put the blame on you? And all the little things you do. I'm soft, but ain't no bitch. I slap a nigga while I got tears in my eyes. April 26, but I can't speak too much about that time. Think about the text and then regrets, but we both know I tried. Won't wait for you no more, cause I'm not Tim's. I'm finna live my life. Used to think about forever. Now I feel like I can do better. Not the same when we together. But like the girl I once knew better. First love, hard time, damn you damaged me. You try, I try, we both felt everything. Thought that I could wait for you. Maybe I'm not made for you, and the pain gon' come, but the tears gon' dry. Thought I'd wait for you, but baby, not this time.
Short-sighted, you staring at the flame, but trying to act like you didn't light it. We both know you make chaos and you start getting excited. Got me acting crazy like you take the scripts and write it. We both know that you're lying.
You took my heart, mishandled this shit, charge you for these damages.
Can't fix this shit no more with all these gifts you use as bandages. It's funny how you manage it.
You acting like I planned this shit, don't even get me started. You're emotionally scandalous. You just think about forever. Now I feel like I can do better. Not the same when we together. I like the girl I once knew better. First love, hard time, damn you damaged me. You try, I try, we both felt everything. Thought that I could wait for you. Maybe I'm not made for you, and the pain gon' come, but the tears gon' dry. Thought I'd wait for you, but baby, not this time.
All right. That was awesome, guys. So we're going to go right into Mine Forever now. So just give us 1 second and we're going to click that one up. All right, here we go. Part 2.
I'm a fool, so foolish for thinking you could hold me down. I thought that you were mine forever. I guess that you're just mine for now. You're mine for now, mine for now, mine for now. So time runs out, time runs out, time runs out. You're mine for now, mine for now, mine for now. Still part of my collection, if you ever let me go. You better save that pussy up for me, my babe. Don't act like I didn't eat your chips like Frito-Lay. You say that you with me, you need to tap my name. Cause I don't like the chance who can play that game. We both know that I made you. You're still so damn ungrateful. I watched as your friends change you. It's news to me. I did you dirty, you out in the town and you slander my name. It's news to me. Thought you were different, you're just how a lot of your girls are the same. It's news to me. It's news to me. Teach you to act like a lady, yeah.
I'm a fool. You thought that you were someone else. You're only good for dick and dollars. I'm better off here by myself. Bet you think I cried a lot of tears over you, my baby. That's what you wanna hear, but it's cool, my baby. You can't even look me in the eyes. Disappointed, not surprising. Bet you think that I'ma come on running back to you, but you just ain't been special since I left you. Must have been on something when I met you. You so lucky that I blessed you. I'm a fool for thinking you could hold me down. I thought that you were mine forever. I guess that you're just mine for now. I'm a fool.
You're mine for now, mine for now, mine for now. So time runs out, time runs out, time runs out. You're mine for now, mine for now, mine for now. Still part of my collection, if you ever let me go.
All right, there we go. We're back. We're back and we're doing it. I love how Google just switched your guys' positions. They just decided to flip you guys now. Great videos, man. I love that makeup is really, really good. How did you guys hire a professional for that? It's like, what is the...
We actually I got a referral from another friend who's a musician. And she referred me to this makeup artist who actually did makeup. She did the Halloween costumes for Kim Kardashian.
Oh, okay.
So we were able to hire her, and she was awesome. She came and, did a phenomenal job and really kind of helped make the entire concept come alive. So.
That's sick. So was that your guys' ideas that you wanted you looking all burnt up and fucked up and
Yeah. So I actually wrote the scripts for the music videos, and basically, like, originally those weren't even going to be the singles. The singles were going to be like "Love Yourself" and "Can't Find Peace," which is another song on the record on the EP. And just like as we made these, we were like, no, these two records are like, these are the singles. These are the ones that we like love the most. They stand out. They tell like kind of the craziest story. And like originally the concept that I wrote was way more of just like a traditional like relationship, love-based story, like kind of ho-hum. And, Kaylin pushed back and like kind of challenged me on it, not wanting to really kind of like, being that she's a new foray as a musician, wanting to like have a more of like a splash and more of like an empowered position. So I said, let's flip the idea on its head and let's make you essentially like a villain, like, and
yeah. And you like that idea, Kate? You don't mind being the villain?
I did. I told him originally I didn't want to just look like the rapper's girlfriend in the videos, just I didn't want to just be like a video vixen or like I kind of wanted more of a power role. So he wrote that whole script like and gave me that. So it was cool.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's kind of like tells like honestly to me it was like my idea of what the toxic love cycle like looks like. So you're in this like relationship where someone can like kind of use and abuse you, and instead of like choosing yourself and leaving, you frequently find yourself just going back, and like that's kind of why it ends with like that like me hugging her as opposed to like me killing her or like trying to get revenge. It's like, oh, I still choose you, like even though you've
after all that.
Yeah.
Love prevails. Why do you think it is that some humans decide to stay in these toxic relationships and not save themselves? What do you think it is?
Okay,
Good question. I think a lot of times people become addicted to that cycle and to the toxicity, to the high highs and the low lows. I think that's a big part of it. And they don't even know that they're addicted to it. And then I think another part of it is sometimes people they think that's the best, that they're not as secure or confident. They don't think that they could have something better than that, and so they kind of stay in these not so great situations and they don't break free of it because they don't think they can. And that's part of it too.
We definitely agree with that. I think it's like a aspect of where you invest so much into someone else that like you feel like if suddenly it doesn't work out, you've lost all that time and energy you've invested. And so you want to cling to that. So instead of like recognizing when it's like the relationship is run its course, you just keep going back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always found it easy too. It's like sort of this easy sway, even though the relationship itself is a very difficult thing. It's very easy to sort of, like I like how Kate was putting it, it's sort of like an addiction. And if anybody's ever been addicted to drugs or cigarettes or shopping or coffee, like when you no, let's just say coffee, because that's a pretty easy one. Generally, a lot of people are addicted to coffee. And I don't know why people don't like calling coffee a drug. That shit is a drug, because how many, I mean, I don't know how deep into coffee or caffeine you guys are, but like if when I was deep in it, if I miss my coffee in the morning, it's like, here comes headaches, you're grouchy. That is a sure sign of withdrawal. And so it's easy just to be like, oh, fuck, I'm just going to go get some coffee. I can't deal with this headache. I can't deal with, all this, anger and animosity. So it's easier just to go get a cup of coffee, even if you're trying to quit caffeine. It's kind of feels that same way with hooking up with an ex or someone who's just, you're terrible for each other, but it's like this easy, comfortable space to be in. And that whatever you're feeling right now will sort of be remedied for a time. And people can say things like, I'm going to change and like things will be different, but it's all just going to go back to the same comfortable / uncomfortable place that it goes to every time. It's just it's weird being human, I suppose.
Great way to put it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't really see that kind of behavior in the animal kingdom like that, right? Like I don't see that. I mean, I suppose if you looked at like primates, there's some relationships like that, but you don't really see like this lion is smacking around this female lioness, and the lioness doesn't like rip them to shreds, or there's something else that goes on there. It's not just like this power play and that's it. And then some females in different kind of species are submissive, and so it's different. I don't know. In any case, it's a weird situation to be in, and it's so like, have you guys ever been in a relationship where you guys knew it should have ended, but you kind of kept it going for a little bit longer?
Most of them, yeah.
Most. He saw most of them.
Yeah, 100%. We were just with some friends, and like I said, my toxic trait is that I'll even if I know a relationship's not going to go anywhere, I'll keep that person around until it runs its course, because it's like at the end it'll sort of be my muse. It'll inspire some new piece of music to make. So
you're my new content.
Basically.
Yeah.
How about you, Kate?
I've been there too. Yeah, I've definitely been there. I think just like I was saying, you get addicted to those highs, and sometimes those relationships with the super high highs also come with the super low lows, and it's not healthy. That those like up and downs are not healthy, but you get so wrapped up in those good moments and the high moments, and when the low moments happen, you can't keep going, but you do, just to kind of hold on to the highs and that person. So I've definitely been there too.
I think as for dudes in general, like dudes will put up with a lot of toxic behavior if the girl is hot enough and good in bed. You know what I mean? Like, and which sounds very, very rude. And I admitted it sounds rude, but like just as a dude and like knowing how dudes think, dudes will put up with a lot of shit before they decide they gotta take themselves out of the equation, because they can do things, because that other person can do things in bed, or just the highs are just that high. But man, those lows can be so horrible. It's horrifying where these things can go. I don't know. Would you agree with that sentiment, Antonio, as a dude?
Yeah, I would say if a guy leaves first, it's probably you probably really did something crazy, because I mean, it's a harder task for a guy to get a new girl than it is for a girl to get a new guy. Yeah. Realistically, like, dudes will go and hook up with anything that comes to them 9 times out of 10, most guys. So it's like, if you've got a good girl as a guy, like, and good is subjective, but if you've got a girl that you find is like attractive enough and checks off enough boxes, typically the guy will stay, even if it is negatively impacting him in other areas. So like, if he leaves, it's like, he's probably not coming back.
You really did it this time.
It's like it happens when like the next option has not worked out. So.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Dudes have a harder time finding a mate than ladies do, and that's why ladies have the power, right? Like, because they're the gatekeepers, which is great. Ladies should be discerning. How about that? How about asshole dudes who are like, oh, these bitches ain't cut biting, you know? It's like, hey, how about this? How about ladies should be discerning? How about ladies should want a mate that has a job and that has good genes and fucking the family's not full of psychos and like maybe ladies should be is discerning to a pain. Like for real though, like if ladies have that role of gatekeeper, right? Then a woman should be as picky as possible. And I think a lot of the big problem is that, and I'm not just putting it on women, but some ladies are just like, fuck it, who cares? Dudes are like that, but dudes are more. I think dudes are more generally like that, right? Like dudes are more like, yeah, she said yes, let's go. So
yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, I support. I support women discriminating against bums. We don't support bums here. So you're not on your task as a guy. Like, sorry, do better, be better. I think that's kind of our onus in this particular world. Like, they're gatekeepers to sex, but we ultimately are gatekeepers to a lot of other things. And so because of that, yeah, maybe the standard should be higher for what we do and how we act.
Yeah. Absolutely. Kate, do you think that the standards should be high as well?
For women?
For women to be more discerning with the dudes.
I think it's good. I think, just it probably is easier for us to get into relationships whenever we want to. So it makes sense that our standards are a little bit high. And I think women these days are less willing to put up with things than maybe our moms and our grandmothers did, just because we don't necessarily need men to survive anymore. So it's a little bit more like you have to bring more than just a good job to the table. You have to just be a good person, I think. But I also think guys should have a little bit of higher standards. I think I know a lot of guys who just hook up with anybody, and they're pretty. I think guys should be less easy too. I think their standards should be up too, because if you're a good guy and you bring a lot to the table, be a little bit harder to get, I think would be a good thing. So both of us, yeah.
No, and then so when you look at these roles, do you think that when it comes to a man being more discerning, do you think that then, I'm not trying to shame anybody for their profession, but like if a girl works the sex work industry, and that doesn't mean that she's out prostituting or having OnlyFans, that could also mean that she is an Instagram model. Mm-hmm. Do you think then a guy should be discerning about that kind of behavior on a woman who is willing to show their whole bodies to millions of people, or do you think that that men should be accepting of those roles of that women choose in that world?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think everybody should have their own standards and boundaries, and I respect that. I think don't speak down on those people who choose to do that, for sure, because they're getting their money, But
get your money, baby.
Yeah, for sure. I respect that too, but I think everybody is entitled to their own preferences. I have my preferences when it comes to a man and how, what he chooses to do with his life and his body. So you can have the same preferences. I think that's okay. We'll respect everybody, but when it comes to who you're going to date, that is totally okay for you to say, I'm not cool with that. I don't feel good about that. I'm not going to date you because of that. That's fine, honestly. Yeah.
How about you, Tonio? What do you think? What do you think about? Do you discern? Are you like if you meet a girl that's an online model, are you discerning, or are you like let's go, let's run this?
I support sex workers. Do what you want to do. I mean, I don't. For me personally, I probably wouldn't be in a serious relationship with a girl who was doing OnlyFans, but would I hook up with her? That's a different question. I think
it's very true. It's a very different question.
Relationship, are we talking about? I've dated girls who were strippers in the past, and to me it didn't bother me. But I think that's I think it's because I kind of look at relationships a lot of times as being transactional anyway. So I think if you understand that there's some level of like a transaction always happening in your relationship, then like you can kind of define what your own boundaries are. Now for like a wife, someone that's like my, potential long-term partner, like absolutely not. Probably like those things are not going to work for me, but like I'm super traditional in that aspect. Like I don't really think that like my future wife needs to necessarily work if she wants to. If she can like chill and do other things.
So your idea of gender roles in a relationship are more of the traditional values rather than
100%.
Rather than your wife, like you're at home cooking and cleaning and waiting for your wife to come home. And
I mean, now if my wife is like making like $10 million a year, and then I'll be a stay-at-home dad, no problem. For sure.
I will take that.
I'll do the dishes, I'll clean the house, whatever. Like, no problem. If her career is like, just there, then I'll support that. I'll be a cheerleader. But like, traditionally that hasn't been like the relationships that I've been in. And like for me, I'm not like necessarily like a woman who's like 100% driven by her career is probably not going to work with me. Not just me personally, because like I'm always going and moving so much. I need someone who's able to like be on the same wavelength and like be a partner to that. So I think if you're like, I'm a doctor and I'm working 80 hours a week, then like what time do you have for me? And I'm already busy too. So like, stuff.
Yeah.
Kayla's face. Me and Caitlin have had this conversation before. So
yeah. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I also know that men are not always the most reliable people for life. So, at any point you can go your separate ways, and you both need to be able to survive on your own and have something to bring you an income that makes you comfortable. So sometimes that's what it's got to be like. But I get you. I get what you mean too.
Yeah, well, and the idea that, I mean, even if circumstances happen where maybe someone passes away, and you are sort of left there holding the bag, and if you have kids, you got to deal with kids and shit. So it is it is probably important for all parties involved to bring something to the table where they could be self-sufficient. But if if one person ends up making all the money and someone has to stay home with the kids, like that makes sense. It makes sense for one person to sort of take on the role of the parent and the housekeeper and stuff like that. The housekeeper, what? Like you're the hired help. Oh, geez, Louise.
I mean, like,
you know what you mean.
My ideal partner would like be involved in the music business. I think so. Like, we'd probably work together. Like, because for me, like my long-term vision of music is like not just being an artist, but being an executive and like more on the label side, more on the business side. And I would love to have like a partner who's involved in that. So maybe she's a part of like the artist discovery process and like doing A&R and all that, or maybe she's just truly in business and is on the financial side or the marketing side. And like for me, if I had a partner who was a part of that, that would be awesome, because then we're sharing like the same interest, and now work is not really work.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because you'll hear a lot of people being like, "Oh, I would never work with my wife. Like, I would never work with my partner because, oh God, I couldn't be around her all day." Well, that to me is a red flag. If you can't be around this person, if your job is your only relief from another human being, like you're doing it wrong, bro. Like,
right.
It shouldn't be that bad.
Wow.
But like people do get sick of each other, right? If you're married to the same person for 10, 15 years, people do get sick of each other. Like, I've been married to my wife for 12 years, and there's shit that I do that pisses her off, and, like, it's just part of who I am as a person. And so it's hard to change it. And same way, likewise with her, she has her ways that just piss me off. Like driving the speed limit in the fast lane. What? Anyways. Long standing argument. But you don't drive the speed limit in the fast lane, okay? Get the fuck out of the way. anyways, you do get sick of each other, and you do end up like, it's fine taking breaks, not like, breaks like we live in different houses now, but like I totally encourage her to take ladycations. Like, she'll go on vacation with her friends, and they'll go to some place, and they'll go do their thing, and go do your thing. Go live your life. Be who you are. And that's fine, because it's just, what is it? Absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? Like, it's important. I think it's important for couples, especially the long-term couples, to be able to step away or have your own space in a house. Like, I know that, like, if my wife is pissy or something and she's like working somewhere in the house, I remove myself from the area of the house or the area she's in, because I know that she's just doing her thing, right? Just knowing those boundaries and knowing who the other person is so important to these fucking relationships, man. They're so long. Just forever. It's so long.
It's so long. 12 years though, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a roller coaster, but it's one of the most rewarding things in the world, is to have a functional family. We have our son, and you know what I mean? Like, so this idea, there's this idea that, younger generation is looking at marriage more and more as something alien. And you guys are the younger generation. I'm old as shit. How do you guys see marriage as a part of your life goals, or do you see it as something that, if it happens, it happens? That's cool. If not, whatever. I'm a bad bitch. I'll do whatever I want. Like, how do you guys view marriage?
I mean, we're very different on this. Like I said, we've had this.
Yeah.
We have very different perspectives. I'm more traditional.
Yeah.
Like, very much marriage is something I want. I'm looking forward to at some point with whomever that is. And like, I would say it's like a goal, like a life goal. I don't know about that, but like 100%, I think it's something that's like a central point at every person's life. Like, I think like having your life partner who you like build with and all of that is important to like your own mental health too, like, and just like your longevity as a person. Like, we're by ourselves, 50, 60 years old, and we need someone to lean on. Who is it? And I don't know that the answer is like your kids, because like I look at like the kids as, your offspring that you mold to become their own people, but not to take care of you when you're older necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shit, my son better be wiping my ass when I'm old. I wiped his ass. He better be wiping mine.
I'm gonna be lifting weights and stuff. I don't think I'm ever gonna get to that point. Not gonna
Nice. Hell yeah. Stay lifted, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kay. I walked right in on you. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, I think my generation is definitely looking at marriage a little more like, why? Like, what? Give me the pros, because I see the cons. Like, what? But at the same time, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think for me, it's not just like a goal. It has to be with the right person. So when I have that right person, I think I'm going to feel very differently about marriage. I think it's amazing to make that commitment to somebody, and it's you two against the world for the rest of your lives. I think that's beautiful to have a partner like that, but it really has to be the right person, the right situation. I think a lot of people get married and have kids just to go through the motions and hit those points, and they've always had it in their head that that's what you're supposed to do. But I think if we put a little bit more thought into who we're choosing and who we're bringing more people into the world with, I think we all need to put a little bit more thought into that. And then if it's the right person, if it's the right time, I think it's the most beautiful thing ever. And I would love to be married someday too. I mean, just, yeah, the right situation for sure.
Yeah, it is weird. It's not weird. I think as a society, we're sort of growing into this more like science-centric beliefs, and as religion is sort of taking a back seat these days, we're looking at traditional values more and less like what's the useful parts of this, and is this useful for us? Well, not really. Ladies can live their own lives now. I mean, it's gotten to the point now where ladies don't even need a man's sperm to get pregnant. Women can actually get pregnant by themselves now. It'll always be a girl, but women could do it by themselves. So it's just interesting how we're sort of deconstructing traditional ideas and sort of turning them into what we are now. What direction we're going now, and what we are seeing, especially when you see as the time has gone on, like you have these ladies who were, and I'm not trying to pick on the ladies here, but when we talk about traditional gender roles, we talk about a man and a woman, and the man goes and works, and the woman is submissive and home and cooks and takes care of the kids, and right, like that kind of idea. When you look at ladies who are, who have led promiscuous lifestyles and who have, done this whole, taking off your clothes and putting your body on the internet. And now listen, I don't want anybody, because I'm not judging or I don't hate anybody. And this is not my ideas. This is just, things I've seen and ideas that, I've come across. But the idea that, that ladies can live this promiscuous life, show their body off online, and then hit a certain age. And, we're talking, at a certain age, ladies, and it's an unfortunate part about our society. But, but sometimes ladies will age out. And I know that sounds horrible. And again, this is not how I see it. But sometimes when men, because of our own natural predications to mate and to reproduce, we tend to look at younger ladies as more of a better chance of spreading our seed. Now, that's just something that's in us that we can't, we can control now, but it is something that still is in us. We're finding ladies who have had this sort of fast lifestyle, growing up, getting older, and once men stop sort of paying attention to them how they used to, they start finding sort of an absence in their life when it comes to, they start finding that it's like, well, now I do kind of want a family. And this isn't just people who are promiscuous, right? This is for people who are very business minded. You have people who are head of CEOs, head of corporations who are sort of finding that later on in life, they're finding that their success has sort of clouded their biological needs, and now their biological needs are sort of coming back and haunting them, and sort of creating generations of unhappy people and unhappy women. What do you think that there is any sort of truth to that idea? And again, this is not my idea. This is not how I think, but this is what I'm finding out there. Do you think that there's any truth to that? Or do you think that that's all just the patriarchy trying to hold women down? I know that was a long diatribe, by the way.
Yeah. And it's interesting thoughts. I think there's probably a little bit of truth to that. I'm sure some people in general are so focused on their career for a long time that they put that side of things aside, or they don't necessarily want it at the time. And then later they're like, oh yeah, maybe I did want that. But I also think there's a little bit of, I think a lot of single women who are doing their own thing later that I've seen, I don't know, but I think a lot of them are actually really happy. And I think a lot of women in marriages are absolutely miserable too.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have that partner, but are you really happy in that union? Are you happy with your life? So I think it just really depends on the person and who you are. I think I could see both things happening.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tone?
I mean,
it was a lot.
I think there's probably truth to that, but I think there's another perspective of it too, like from the male perspective. Like as I get older and like I hear more and more sort of like the modern perspective, like relationships and like aging and like all of that stuff. there are less clear reasons why, as a man, you should, like, as a successful guy, you should get married. So I think of it from that perspective too. Like, I get older and, like, let's say I've got, $5 million that I've made, for my career, right? And I'm now a millionaire. I'm, maybe not physically in my prime, but I'm close enough. And I'm, like, at the highest of socioeconomic status. Then, like, there's always a perspective of that too from the guy's side of why I get married. Because, like, if I get married, then now, let's say it doesn't work out, and statistically, like, most marriages are ended by women. So, like, let's say it doesn't work out, then I'm giving 50% of what I've made and earned, to that woman. And is she the reason that I earned that? Maybe not. I don't know. It, like, varies. But, like, let's say you're successful and you go into that. What are the like true benefits of marriage? That's, like, a question that you for sure have to ask yourself, because, like, you could get those same things in a relationship, or I could date 10 women and have, like, whatever the benefit is of having, like, 10 partners without the same level of commitment where I'm at financial risk. So, I mean, like, I think there's, like, a take, and there's 100% truth to both perspectives of, like, modern women who maybe set themselves up for failure of, like, what's their, what they may want as they get older in terms of, like, a marriage, but there's also, like, the failure on the other side too. So
I feel like I've seen a lot of, YouTube guys and a lot of videos and stuff talking about this thing. And part of me feels like it's a little bit of a ploy to scare women into jumping into those relationships young, just because they see more women opting out of, getting married and being in those relationships. And it's becoming a big thing now. So I think, I don't think every single woman is any less happy than women in marriage. I think there's a lot of single women who have chosen that life, and they love their lives and they're super happy, as opposed to, somebody who did get in a relationship when they were 22 and got married and hate their lives, So I think, I don't think it's all on one side.
Yeah, it's not a one size fits all. The only thing that my only true opinion on the position is just, like, if you choose to, like, focus on those things and you lose out on, like, those relationships, then, like, don't come back to the world and scream at the world, saying that the world is, like, treated you for that, when in reality you made decisions that got you there. And, like, that's okay. Like, that's, if you're happy in it, but if you, like, become unhappy, it's not our fault.
Take it out on you.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
Oh, please, Kate, where you going? Did you have more to add?
Yeah, no, I mean, I get what he's saying too. Like, I agree. If that's your choice, that's your choice. It is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we have a problem in this country, or even in this world as people, is that people just want to be in everybody's damn business. So it's like it's like everybody's worried about what everyone else is doing. And it's like, man, if we could just live that by the idea is, like, just let people do them, I think a lot of these problems would probably dissipate. But that is not what we do. We have to intervene on everything. I don't agree with you, so you need to stop doing that, or else you're gonna, lose your job or something. Like, it's turned into such a weird situation, especially culturally, where we can't even have these sort of conversations anymore, where if you even mention anything like this, you're canceled, it's over for you. So yeah, it's good that we can have conversations like this, because I agree. It's not all just one thing. It's not all just, one side. It's just, you see articles like, feminism is a lie, and like, feminism has ruined my life, and it's these older feminist women. These are written by women who are saying, like, a lot of these promises that feminism was going to bring to women sort of fell flat, and a lot of what I'm reading from some of these older feminists, they're saying, like, it turns out that this all worked out better for men, where men can now have as many partners really as they want. And because of birth control, we can sort of, or birth control and abortion, of course, we can sort of go through and have our pick, and be okay with it, because women are sort of being trained now to to not respond to sex and hold it to such a sacred level that they sort of are way more open with it. So it's the idea that it's benefited men in the way that now we can sort of just just bust nuts wherever we want and not actually have the responsibility that comes with busting said nut. Because it used to be where if you have sex with a woman and you go inside of them, then you have a baby to take care of. And so like this idea of birth control and abortion, part of the feminist idea, this is just one idea of it. It's sort of opened up the door for men to sort of act even more sort of dismissive towards women, because now they've just become a cum dumpster that they can go to regularly. And please, this is not how I view women. This is not my ideas. It's just, these are interesting ideas that I'm reading about, and that, I'm interested in how people go, how they look at these things.
There's a comment about like modern feminism and feminism in general. It's like, what was the original idea and how has it evolved? And has there become a confusion of that's like negatively impacted women in society? And like the answer is probably yes, somewhere in the middle. But is the question I think that gets brought up the most is like, is modern feminism like equality for women in terms of like rights and accesses to resources, or is it like sexual liberation? Where's the balance? And like if it leans too far to one side or the other, then there are negative consequences with that. And so, I mean, we're probably seeing a mix of that. I think like OnlyFans culture and sex work culture and all of that is probably like are we leaning too far into like the sexual liberation side of things? But I think it's like all of your take or perspective on it. It's like, do you come from a super religious background? Are you like Bible Belt and then you more likely fall to that? Are you conservative or are you liberal? Like, where do you draw your own personal line, and like how much does it impact you? Because if it doesn't impact you, should you care? So these are all like the questions that like get brought up. I think like I'm in the like, if it doesn't impact me directly or like the things that I care about, which are like my people and my family, then I don't really care that much. It's not my business. I'll decide if I am with that person or not, but grand scheme of things, not my business.
Kate, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting idea to think about. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with the side of feminism it's not that I don't agree. I truly do not care what anybody does except for myself, right? And my people, and my partner. But I don't know if like the sexual liberation thing is good for anybody. I think men are very sexually liberated too, and I don't think it's good for them either. I think do whatever you want. I don't care. For me personally, I think just chemically in your brain, something is released when you do that with somebody. It's not just, I don't think you can just do a physical act, leave, forget about it. I think there's more to it a little bit. So I think mentally, emotionally, like being super sexually liberated, I mean, to a point, like it's, yeah, fine. But like, I think eventually it becomes a little bit unhealthy for both parties. On the side of like respecting women as people, the equal rights, equal pay, equal, all of that, for sure. I think that's super important to keep pushing for. So yeah, it's interesting to hear like about, you talk about the two sides of it. And I think part of it is super healthy. Part of it's maybe not so healthy, but that's just me.
Yeah. And I think that's what comes with the idea of having the freedom to do these sorts of, be in these situations, is that thing about being free to, sleep with whoever you want, is that there are repercussions from that, whether it's, emotional or, you got AIDS now or whatever.
There's a lot to think about. Yeah.
And I think you made a really good point, Kate, is like I've been in sexual situations where I walked away from that being like, oof, that wasn't fun. So I can imagine women, have to deal with that. Give me 1 second.
You good? I will say I think there is that disconnection when, you know, a man sleeps with 10 women and he's like applauded, and if a woman does it, she's very, you know, much.
Yeah,
and
she's a whore now. She's a prostitute now that she's done
so I
it.
think that is, I don't think either of you should be, you know, I mean, do whatever you want, but I think there is a disconnect in how women are looked at versus men, and I don't think that's right at all.
Yeah. But you know, if it's we all agree that it's easier for a woman to get a man than it is for a man to get a woman. So if a man gets 10
it doesn't matter,
very successful at getting women now, we should applaud his skill, right?
No, but think about how many men we are turning down daily. We are, you know, we turn down 99% of people who throw themselves at us. So we're very discerning when it comes to that. And you guys,
and you should applaud that. Like you should applaud a woman who's like, no, I'm not easy. I'm not like, I'm a catch, and you should treat me as such. But it's like on the same, but you do that because you know that the like availability and the options are boundless, right? Like, I
think you should. But I still don't think you should be. Right?
So like, should not get some props if it's like, yo, you got game, and you walk in a room with 10 women and 8 of them want you.
If a woman's a hoe for doing that, you're a hoe for doing that.
I'm not saying the dude's not a hoe. I'm just saying what you applaud, right?
No,
that's the skill.
I applaud it.
No.
Bro, you got game.
Look, and if a woman can do it, I applaud her too. I really, I mean, even though it's easier for women to go and get dick whenever they need it or want it, that's not neither here or there. I always am cheering on ladies who are just like, fuck them and leave them. I don't like, I'm just like, get yours and move on. Let's go. I'm all for it. But is that the makings of a long-term relationship? You know, like, no, it's not, right? It's not really the makings of a long-term relationship. But if that's not what you're looking for, who gives a shit? You know, like, fuck them and leave them. I don't care. Like, do your thing. Yeah, it's just really interesting to see so many people, you know, with the idea of modern feminism, so many people sort of starting to turn their back on it. Moving Dutchman, thank you so much for that sub to Naders. And Eddie Brown Music, I thanked you in the chat, but I didn't thank you. Thank you for that sub as well. I appreciate you. Thank you guys. Big love to you, all of you. Over 6 foot and makes 6 figures. 90% women want 5% of men. Yeah, you know, that was the big thing too, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have heard of Kevin Samuels, R.I.P. Kevin Samuels, and then sort of the carrying on the tradition is, I think, the lesser liked person, but like Andrew Tate sort of carrying the torch for Kevin Samuels. And I'm not a big fan of Andrew Tate. I think he's kind of a douchebag, big douchebag. But, you know, sometimes he says things that make sense. But you know, a lot of times he sounds like an asshole. But Kevin Samuels did a great job with sort of keeping stuff real from a men's perspective. You know, keeping it real with women and letting them know how a man sees things. Because I think, you know, I think a big thing that's happening now, especially with feminism, is that men tend to just sort of get brushed aside, and we're sort of told to like shake it off, you know, man up, do that shit. Father's Day was yesterday, and you know, Mother's Day comes along, and it's like it's everywhere. Like you go into Target, it's Mother's Day, it's everywhere. Father's Day doesn't even get an honorable mention on the Sunday press, right? Like they don't give a fuck about fathers. And so, you know, I think that right now we're having sort of this rejection of the ideas that came with modern feminism. To people, it's interesting to see sort of people going back to these traditional ways of being. And also, you know, I'm seeing people going back to church and stuff, even though religion is quickly losing its hold on society. I am seeing people sort of revert back to religion and traditional lifestyles, traditional gender roles. And, you know, I think a big part of it as well is that we have, you know, this LGBTQ plus movement that is very aggressive in people's faces and stuff, which, you know, I don't. It gets a little weird, but like I don't care, like I'm all about the LGBTQ plus family. I got tons of gay friends. It's whatever. I'm not mad at anybody like that, but I think a lot of people are sort of rejecting these ideas and sort of pushing back a little bit. And it's not necessarily, MAGA loving, Trump supporting people. I think it's just like regular ass people who are, whatever side of the aisle is. I think that a lot of times men are getting labeled as far right when they're trying to just be like these traditional people who don't have anything against the gay community or the trans community, don't have anything against black or brown people. They're just like, I just want to live my life, but yet they're being called, far right extremists. And so there's become this stigma to even be a dude, let alone a white dude. And it seems to have gotten to this point now where we're sort of discriminating against certain people. In the in the pursuit of acceptance, we're sort of not accepting everyone, and it's weird. I think it's weird. I know that was a lot. I'm sorry I keep like talking at you guys, but thoughts? I don't know.
I mean, it's I would say like I don't really have too strong of a perspective or opinion either way. I just kind of, to me, I can see where you're coming from, but I mean, I think it's a necessary position when a certain group of people have been, held down and held back and have had to deal with barriers for 400 plus years. You've got to do what has to be done in order to get those people back to equal. And I don't think that it's like a one swoop of things to get you there. So, that's kind of my perspective.
White males have been canceled in chat, everyone.
Yeah, if you got to cancel white men to get black people and LGBTQ and
happy Juneteenth, by the way, everybody. Happy Juneteenth.
Oh yeah.
If you got to do that in order to get them to where they need to be, then you got to do what you got to do.
So you think that it takes discrimination to end discrimination?
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's like discrimination.
Yeah.
To end discrimination, like you gotta. Okay, if you systemically built multiple barriers to entry for everyone to have the same access to opportunity, then in order to tear down those barriers, the people who benefited from that are no longer going to benefit from that. And it's not discrimination. It's just simply righting the wrongs that we've set up in society for far too long. So if that means we have to, like, now, does there have to be a level? Like, does getting to equality mean giving people privilege? Maybe it does. But at what point do we draw the line? That's where we as a society have to figure that out. But inherently, if it means if we're making more Black, Latino, gay people, people's in positions of power and leaders, then we're removing the people who were previously there. And if that is predominantly white men, then so be it. We have to do what we have to do to get what we need to get.
I definitely think we do need to remove the white men that are running this country currently. I do believe that they do suck at, and yeah, I totally see that perspective. I guess seeing it, I'd like to see it as we all sort of get together on the same level and we can kind of all come up together. And I obviously I don't know what your perspective on life is. I would never claim like I know what Tonio's life experience was. Obviously, I experienced a totally different upbringing. And thank you guys so much for all these subs. I appreciate you. Your accolades should speak for itself. I agree that your accolades should speak for yourself, but I also see how over the years it's been skewed to only recognize the accolades of a certain group of people, and a whole nother group of people sort of gets overlooked on accolades. So I see the perspective. I do see it. Kate, I'm sorry, I just totally walked all over. Do you have any response to any of this?
I mean, I don't know what it's like to be a white man or a Black man or part of the LGBTQ community. So I think for me, I don't know if it's my place to even say like how they're gonna, because I think systemically for the last, however many years, hundreds and hundreds of years, our country has been built on to cater to a certain demographic. So like whatever they have to do, whatever the suppressed groups of people have to do to get to that level, to get to a level playing field, I don't know if who am I to say like what's right and what's wrong. I don't live, those lives, but
yeah, I think we're gonna have to find a balance, because I think that people are on both sides are seeing it as extreme. You know what I mean? Like we're not seeing any sort of like middle ground on it. Like each side sees the other side as this extreme ideology or cause. So I think eventually we're just gonna have to figure out how we sort of can meet in the middle of all these things. And I feel like the way that our influence, whether it's online, the media, or even our politicians, I don't see them as wanting that. I see more division being sowed. This is what I see. I don't see them wanting us to sort of come together and find a peaceful conclusion to this. I think it's something that they want to be ongoing. And I'm not trying to sound like it's conspiracy theorist, but like how many times do you turn on the news and it's like this horribly divisive story that makes you either mad at someone or cheer someone on? It's all geared to sort of make us react emotionally and not intelligently. And I think that's a bad place to be in as a society. I don't know. I think that's that. I don't know. I don't see the powers that be wanting us to, and then they get to sort of do what they want to do under the cloak and guise of social justice. I mean, I think that these politicians have sort of co-opted these causes, and then because what did I mean? Look at what Biden did, right? Like he took on the BLM movement and all this stuff, right? He said that you're not black if you don't vote for me, said all this shit. And then as soon as he got in office, it's like the black community didn't exist in his mind. Like, I don't know about you guys, but do you see people doing better or worse? I don't see anyone doing better. I think I see people paying more money at the gas station. I see more people, and I'm not trying to say that Trump was this great, this white knight that came in and saved everybody, because I am no fan of Trump either. But I don't see. I see these politicians using these movements and sowing divisiveness to gain power, and I don't really believe that they believe what they're saying. If that makes sense.
I agree with you. I don't know how much of it is authentic at all. I think a lot of it isn't. I think as an old white man running the country, you can't possibly be as empathetic to those marginalized groups as you're pretending to be or saying you are. I mean, there's something to be said for him fighting for the groups that have been oppressed. Is it authentic? I don't know. I don't know how authentic it can be. I think something needs to be shaken up. I think we need to get rid of the old white men who consistently run this country, because they're not representative of everybody anymore, and it's been a long time coming. So I'm hoping.
My hope has faded dramatically.
Yeah. It's easy to be jaded with the current political state of the world and just like the social state. I mean, things like inflation and like rising cost of things, while wages stagnate, are challenges and issues that probably aren't going to be fixed in the near future. And so it'll get harder for people before it gets easier, which is why I think it's like more important to like slam your fist on the table for the social issues you care about. Because I don't think like economically things are going to change dramatically. So where you can, like for me personally, when I look at political candidates or whatever, I don't really care about their fiscal policy or things like that. I care about the issues that like directly impact my day-to-day living and the day-to-day living of the people I care about, and that's like typically social issues. So I think if it's like the perspective of some politician getting to tell women that they don't have access to like abortions and treatment and whatever it is, then like that's not really their place, and like kind of piss off. Like they don't get to decide that. Give people the choice to make the decisions the same way, like if it comes to Black people and it's a question of whether or not, we need to be looking at the way that our society is policed and the way that minorities and black men and women are policed in particular, and probably are jailed at a higher frequency, then yeah, we need to look at those issues. Those are the things that like impact us. I shouldn't get pulled over because I'm a Black guy in a nice car and I'm being profiled,
Which you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a experience, So
yeah, I agree. I agree that that's a huge thing, that cops need to be held accountable for sure. Like that's, cops just do whatever they want, and there's a whole fraternity of them that'll back them up, and it's part of the culture to back each other up and to lie for each other and shit. So like that whole reformation, I really was behind when Black Lives Matter came to the scene, because that's what they're talking about. And then it was just so sad that you saw it sort of get taken advantage of, and now they've gone bankrupt, and there's been all kinds of stuff that's gone in it. But I think it sucks because the legacy should be known for speaking out against these unruly cops, and not because there was a bunch of corruption within the organization. And so it is sad to sort of see that happen. But once millions and millions of dollars are involved in anything, it's easy for corruption to sort of rear its head. But yeah. Anyways, I liked what was written up here, and just to sort of bring. I know we sort of went off into this icky place that no one really likes to live in, but. And okay, so iHeart says it'll take forums like this and discussions like this to discuss real issues. Tonio and Kate new album is an example of bringing real life issues out and should be discussed. No matter what color a person is, relationship issues are real. It all is a matter of the heart. Look at that, iHeart. Thank you for coming in with that, and and thank you for hanging out. So the new EP, when was it actually dropped? When did you guys actually drop it?
This past Friday.
This past Friday. Oh, great. So perfect timing. So I definitely encourage everyone to go and listen to the album and check it out. Boom. There's the links for it. And it's is it on vinyl? That's what Nader wants to know. Is it on vinyl?
It should be.
Don't have it on vinyl yet. I mean, maybe in the future. It's still a lot of moving parts as we just are kind of, figuring out, what are our next steps after everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And
kind of ready at the moment. Like,
maybe small batch sale. Maybe you guys do like a little 10 batch. See how that turns out. I know they have like deals where you can if you get 10 people to buy your record, they'll print it and then send out some copies and stuff. So I don't know. Cool. Look around. Nader's, sorry, my friend. No vinyl. Sorry, buddy. And then the name of the album is what?
Mine Forever.
Mine Forever. And it's a collaboration between GTB. I always want to say GTP or GPT. Stupid AI. GTB Tonio and Kate, who and it's available now, and everybody can go and check that out. And here's what it looks like, y'all. So go and check this stuff out. What about this album do you want people to take away from it as we start to wrap up this conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's for anyone who's gone through difficult relationships or difficult experiences. I think this is a great opportunity for them to tap into those feelings, those emotions, and also just to be sort of closer to us. If you can relate to any of those topics, you'll probably relate to what we're coming through. And honestly, I'm just excited for people to get the chance to share something that we took so long to make. Spent a year on it, really made sure that we crafted every song to really stand up against anyone in the space. So I'm confident in that people will like it, and I'm excited for them to hear it.
Yeah. Kate, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, same really. I think it's relatable on a level. Um, I think people have been through some of the things that we're talking about, and they can listen to that and be like, "Damn, like, yep, I was there. I felt like that. That was crazy." So I think it's just a really relatable piece of work. I think the visuals are cool. It's just like it's just art, really, and I'm really proud of it. So I hope people like it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And everybody, if you are in chat, just go and click on the link. You can listen to it now. And if you are listening to this on the audio end, make sure you go into the show notes and click on the links. Make sure you're supporting Kate and Antonio, and check out this album. Go get yourself some. Let me see here. So, last question I'm asking everybody before they leave. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? Whoever wants to go first.
That's a good question.
I'll let you go first.
You go first. I have to think about that.
I know it's hard. In the meantime, while you guys are thinking, Nader suggests a purple press on vinyl. It would be dope.
That would be fine.
That would be really cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best advice I've ever received is to just always keep going forward, because no matter what you do, there's going to be someone who agrees and someone who disagrees. And at the end of the day, as long as you agree with you, then like that's all that matters. So, you know, it's if you feel strongly on something, you stick to your convictions, you stick to your beliefs, you move forward.
Yeah, good. I think in general, the best advice I've been given is probably just not to take things too seriously. I think we get so wrapped up in this life, and this life can be hard, and you know, we go through things, but there are some things that we take too seriously, and it holds us back. And I think as you know, being an artist, that's a scary thing to jump into art and, you know, put out music and put out your heart. But who cares? Like it's dope. It's, you know, don't get too wrapped up in the small things, because we're all gonna die one day, you know. Like it's not you only live one time. Like this is just an experience. Don't worry about what people are thinking about you, you know. Like do you live how you want to live, and you're gonna have a lot more fun that way.
It's a long road back to Eden, so don't sweat the small stuff, folks.
Amen.
I love it. All right, everybody, please put your hands together for today's guests, GTP, Tonio, and Kate. Thank you guys so much for coming on. There they are, folks. Give them some love. Let's go. Thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
No worries. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good evening. There goes Kate. There goes Tonio and Kate. Oh, yeah.
There goes Tonio and Kate.
There goes Tonio and Kate. There goes Tonio and Kate. Oh, that was Tonio and Kate coming up, living it. Chocolates are kicking, bro. My shit is starting to go.
What is this? This is how dry my mouth is, Nader. Look at that. Look at that cotton mouth going. Mighty, mighty! Thank you so much for that gifted sub. Y'all are just being too nice to me today. Y'all are being too nice to me. And I'm over here with motherfucking cotton mouth. Starting to get hungry.
I'm getting hungry. I'm getting so fucking hungry. Alright. You know what? I kinda wanna finish the Kanye quest. I'm not gonna